Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. I am Sally. I'm from Studio Ninja, and I'm joined by the amazing Tommy Reynolds. He's an incredible UK photographer that uses both Fundy and Studio Ninja. We're mega excited to show you guys around the Studio Ninja software and talk about how both of these fantastic systems can be a game changer for your business. So before we dive right in to the ins and outs of Studio Ninja, I'm going to show you a real quick tutorial from our users, Tim and Nadine. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this all good and take a little look at this.
Tim and Nadine, we are wedding photographers based in Wellington, New Zealand.
We never really thought we would shoot weddings. When we started shooting them, we realised how much fun it was. And we feel pretty damn lucky.
We built our business. It became really successful. That was fantastic. And then what essentially happened was we pretty much had no life anymore. We did some timekeeping to actually figure out what we were doing. And we were actually spending a lot of time doing admin.
People get into wedding photography because they love photography, not because they love admin.
So using Studio Ninja has allowed us to reduce the amount of time that we spend doing the stuff that we hate the most in this business, which really is the paperwork. Our time is like the only thing that we can't really get back. It is the greatest asset that we as humans really have. Studio Ninja gives us back time. Instead of spending time filling in spreadsheets, keeping them up, we can be off, taking pictures, creating art, relaxing, making puzzles.
Amazing. Thank you so much to Tim and Nadine. So they are two rangefinder top 30 rising stars. So it's great to hear from their perspective and their little video there, what the system has done for them and how it's changed their lives. So, oh, there we go. So Studio Ninja are going to be giving away a 12-month subscription to one lucky winner on this live today. So that's 12 months completely free of charge to one lucky person. All you need to do is comment below on the thread within the Fundy group and tell us how much you love Fundy and why you love it. So how much you love it and why you love Fundy, and we will pick one lucky person to get the 12-month subscription. Okay, so first of all, who even is Studio Ninja? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about us, and then we'll hear a little bit of Tommy very, very shortly. So one of our founders, Chris, had the idea to build Studio Ninja whilst he was completely wiped out from shooting 60 weddings a year and trying to manage all of the admin tasks that come along with each wedding as well. So some of you may have experienced what Chris was going through. He was forgetting to follow up with leads. He was forgetting to touch base with his clients. He just generally had no idea where he was up to with everything. And his workflow was a mess. He knew that something had to be done. So he started to trial various softwares. And in his opinion, they just didn't work as well as they should do. So that was when he reached out to Ewan, an award-winning user experience designer. And they put their heads together and Studio Ninja was born. So in short, Studio Ninja is a photography business app that you can use on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone, essentially from anywhere in the world. It will help you eliminate all of your paperwork, automate all of your business, and just give you your freedom back. So who am I? I'm Sally. For those of you who don't know me, I recently joined the company as head of marketing, and I'm really privileged to be doing this live for you today. So I'm actually a wedding photographer myself. I've been in the industry for a little over 8 years now. I realized very early on in the game that admin was a huge time-consuming and stressful factor. It was really complicated and just generally took up a hell of a lot of my time. I looked at various other systems and none of them really ticked all the boxes for me. And then I stumbled across Studio Ninja. So that was really when it was a game changer, really. It was, everything changed for me. The way that I work changed, the way that I interacted with my clients changed, and I just fell for it in a heartbeat. All of a sudden, everything was automated: the quotes, the online contracts, the payments, the questionnaires, the emails, and that's just to name but a few. I can honestly say that signing up for Studio Ninja all those years ago was a huge milestone in my own career, and all of a sudden I had all this time. In terms of being able to go out, spend time with my family, chill on the sofa, watch a film in the evening, and I had all of my leads automatically convert into jobs, signing their contracts, paying their deposits, and bookings coming in, and I didn't have to lift a finger. So if you need anything, I'm your go-to girl. If you are a photographer that runs workshops, does one-to-one mentoring sessions with photographers, we'd love to chat with you. If you're a photographer that is just starting out in your business or is pretty established, but actually you do everything manually and you're pretty old school, come and speak to me. I'd love to kind of guide you through what we're all about. Today will be a relatively short demo in terms of what Studio Ninja can actually do. We'll just kind of touch the tip of the iceberg, if you like, but we can run through a full one-to-one demo. Just pop me a message privately, and we can get that sorted for you with no problem. So just before we jump in, I just wanted to run through the perks of Studio Ninja. So we offer a free migration service. So for anyone that is already with a CRM system and they're thinking, you know, I'd really quite like to try Studio Ninja, but I don't want to move all my data over. It's going to be really time consuming. We do all that for you. So we've got a dedicated team that migrate all of your current data over to Studio Ninja, and we can get all that sorted for you. We also offer free training, so the one-to-one calls that I mentioned before, you can jump on one of those anytime, as many times as you need, and we can make sure that your account is in tip-top condition to ensure that it's converting bookings and looking after your clients through that whole journey as well. There's also free templates within Studio Ninja, so we don't just give you the software and tell you to kind of go sort it out on your own. There's a lot of templates in there to get you going that you can edit and customize to suit you. We're also constantly working on updates. So you'll see our roadmap within our user group. You can see what we're forecast to be working on currently, and we're also constantly updating everything we have too. The big one for me when I first became a user was the 24-hour in-app chat support. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, it doesn't matter what time of night it is, we're there to support you and we're there to help you with any questions that you have. Not to mention, we also offer some really big discounts from amazing friends in the industry, Fundy included, and we're really, really lucky to have those relationships in place. So the integrations that we have currently, obviously Fundy, we're really good friends with these guys, and it's an honor to be on their page today, giving a little shout out and talking about how well the two work together. We also work with Xero, QuickBooks, Sheetproof, Gmail, Google Calendar, Stripe and PayPal, all to essentially make your business life much easier. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Tommy now. He's going to take you through, from a photographer's point of view, how everything works within Studio Ninja, how everything works within Fundy. I believe he's going to give you guys a little demo within Fundy as well, and then we'll jump back and I'll chat to you guys really soon.
Hey everyone, sorry about that. Thank you so much for joining us. Sally, thank you for that awesome intro, and thanks to the guys at Fundy for letting us be on your Facebook page today. I'm so excited to be here and share with you my views and opinions and using Studio Ninja and Fundy together. To give you a bit of a background, I've been a wedding photographer for the last 5 or 6 years now, and I was getting to the point, and you may have felt this yourself, and Chris, the founder of Studio Ninja, has obviously said it himself. He was getting bogged down with too many inquiries coming in and not keeping everything in check, keeping everything on task. So when I discovered Studio Ninja, it was an absolute breath of fresh air. When I first discovered it, I could not believe how much easier it made my workflow. Because of this software and Fundy as well together, we'll get onto Fundy in a moment, but thanks to Studio Ninja, I now am not scared to take on more wedding inquiries. I'm not scared to do and get involved with all the creative process and get more involved and just reach out to more clients, because I was actually getting to the point where I almost didn't want to take on any more clients, because I was so worried that I wasn't going to stay up to date with everything in check. I mean, if we think about it, if you were to take one wedding and the timeline and the workflow that comes with that, so you would have an engagement session, the actual shoot, but you'd have the consultation, where you're going to meet them, what time, have you delivered their album, have you spoken to them since then, have you sent their contract, etc. The list goes on. And then if you times that by however many people you have photographing that year, it can be so daunting to get to remember all the tasks that you need to do for all those weddings. And that's obviously where Studio Ninja came in and has helped me out so much. So Studio Ninja, along with Fundy, and to be honest, a lot of the other integrations that Studio Ninja have, I'm actually affiliated. Not affiliated. I use their products as well, almost all of them, and all together have really turned my workflow and my business around. And I just want to share with you a little bit more about that. And when it comes to Fundy as well, when I eventually got to find out about Fundy, which was actually through Studio Ninja, when I was looking at their integration page, that's actually where I discovered Fundy. And I looked into that as well, and then realized just how much easier it is to use Fundy and how you can create albums with just a single click. Easily one of Fundy's best features is they have an auto design. So with one click, I can automatically design an album however I wish. And in a moment, I'll show you how that all works very briefly. But because of Fundy, I now actively sell albums to clients. Now, admittedly, in the past, I didn't really sell that many albums, and I now realize why. And the real reason was because I am really terrible at designing albums, so bad. And that's where Fundy comes in. That's where they make it so much easier. So because I can now use Fundy to design an album within 15 minutes, yes, within 15 minutes, it allows me to then actively push and actually sell them, because now I actually got a tool that does that. So now I'm actually pushing them and selling them, and it's really helped gain so much more income for me because of Fundy. So rather than just increase your pricing for your actual shooting time, maybe you should look into using Fundy to design albums much more quicker and with a quicker turnaround, as a way of earning more income. Rather than just increasing your prices, try selling albums if you haven't already. I think it's such a disservice if you do not sell albums in your wedding photography business. If you're just a shoot and burn photographer, you are missing so much by not selling an album. And we'll get into kind of the structure and how I kind of do it now in a moment. But if we come back to Studio Ninja, and I'll see if I can share my screen. So bear with me. Okay, right. I think everyone is seeing my screen. Okay, so this is kind of the main page that I have in Studio Ninja. So I go straight to the job section here. So at the top, you've got all sorts of different tabs. Leads, these are people that I'm in talks with to organize their weddings. And then jobs are the people that they've actually booked with me, and I'm going to be shooting their wedding in the near future. Now, here's a great tip. If you get Studio Ninja, I've got Chrome. So this is my browser. When you have Studio Ninja, if you can set this as your home page, so the very first thing you see when you click on Chrome is you see this page. And that is going to tell you then every time I log in and I look at my computer, I can see at a glance, you can see down here what needs to be done that day, for example. So I can see here, so everything's got an expiry date. The workflow progress just makes it easier for you to see where you're at and what needs to be done next, when's the next wedding and how far along is it. So if you can do that, then it just takes off so much pressure. So again, before I got Studio Ninja, I had a diary with lots of different colored tabs poking out of things that I needed to do. And I never got on top of it. And admittedly, I would have clients email me and say, are we organizing an engagement session? Like, I've not heard from you. And I'm like, yeah, of course. With Studio Ninja, I don't need to worry about that. So let me show you my workflow and how I've set my wedding workflow up. So if I go to settings and I go down to workflow, and this will show you how I structure mine. So the first thing, so all of the red part here is the lead. This is everything leading up to when they actually book you. So this is all the meeting up, the following up with a phone call, all of that good stuff. Okay, so this is that. What's really great about Studio Ninja, and actually let me see if I can very quickly go to my wedding website. So what's also great about Studio Ninja is you can use their contact form builder, and you can put it straight into your own website. So if I go to the contact page, so this right here, this contact form, this is actually from Studio Ninja, which is really cool. So when they type in all of their details here and they hit go, it will automatically get added to Studio Ninja's lead. So you don't have to add their details to start off their workflow, to start off their journey with you. Once you fill in all this, it automatically gets added to Studio Ninja, which is one of my favorite tools. I love it. So this is what the workflow looks like. Book the first wedding meeting. So once they get in, we then chat. We decide where we're going to meet, when we're going to have a consultation. We then actually meet with the couple. And here I can set where we're going to meet at what time. And it will automatically send them a reminder telling them that, you know, the consultation's coming up, just to make you guys aware, just in case you forget, which is really cool. Again, that's all automated. There's so much automation in this, and I'm sure that I'm only touching the surface of this, and you can do so much more. Once I've met with them, I then follow up with a meeting or a phone call. This is, again, it says 7 days after meet couples. So I've set due dates and reminders for me. So after 7 days, it will flag up when I launch my browser and say, you need to follow up with a meeting or a phone call if I've not heard from them. The next thing I would do is send a quote to them. And if they accept the quote, it will automatically get added to production. So once it recognizes that they have made their payment, then it will go to the next phase, which is, again, really great. Once they've accepted their job, I like to become friends with them on Facebook. This is from a marketing point of view later on down the line. Book the engagement session in the same fashion as you meet with the couple. You book an engagement session, you give them a due date, give them it a time, and all of that good stuff. 9 months beforehand, I like to book a second shooter. Again, it's telling me all of this. It's reminding me that I need to do all of these things. So it's literally changed my business. If there's only a handful of pieces of software you get, Studio Ninja is one of them, Fundy is another, and there's a couple which are actually already on the integration page within Studio Ninja. We'll get onto how it actually talks, how that program Fundy and Studio Ninja talks to each other in a moment. Thank you email for the engagement session. Again, this is all automated. So I've already pre-written an email which already gets sent to them after the engagement session. It reminds me I need to sort, etc. Send a questionnaire that goes out 3 months beforehand. I find that that's a good time because then it gives them enough time to answer any questions, because they might get caught up if it's too close to the wedding. Whereas if it was like a year and before the wedding, then there might be questions in my questionnaire that they won't know the answers to just yet. So 3 months, I feel like it's a good time. Check all monies have been paid. So that's 31 days before shoot. So I like to have 50% as their deposit, and the remaining 50%, the balance has to be paid 31 days before their main shoot. Exciting for the wedding, 5 days before. Again, all automated. An automated email will go out and ask if there's any last communication they want to make with me. Again, it's all automated. So I could be sat there on the sofa watching TV, and I get an email from my client saying, "Oh, thank you so much for your email. Yeah, we just had one little thing that needs to be changed, and it's this, this, and this." And I'm thinking, "Oh, cool." Like I didn't even need to send that, but it's automatically doing that for me. It's checking in for me. It's doing all of the legwork for me. It's saying goodbye to forgetfulness, which I think is in there on their website, and that is me. I can be very forgetful, but Studio Ninja just eliminates all of that and allows me just to concentrate on the fun bit, which we all like to do, which is just the shooting. Send them a gift card. It's always good to gift them with things just to make sure that it adds to what's the word? It sending them a gift card, send them a little gift. It's good for hoping that they would recommend you later, basically. Then you've got the actual main shoot. Then we move on to the post-production side of things. Again, all automated, but an automated email gets sent a day after their wedding, just saying how much of a great wedding it was. I enjoyed meeting up with their families, uploading a sneak peek to Facebook, finish all production and upload the gallery, invite them to buy an album. So this is where Fundy comes in. When I get to the point where they've got their gallery, they're happy with it, I then invite them to buy an album. But what I'm actually going to do differently now is I will tweak my workflow. And rather than sending them the gallery straight away, if they live close enough, I'm going to invite them here to my studio and I'm going to show them their photos for the first time here in my studio. And there's a very good reason why I'm now going to do that. And it's all to do with in-person sales. So talking about Fundy now, what's great about Fundy, and as I said to you before, you can use Fundy to design albums literally within 15 minutes. And one thing that I've learned now over the last few months of using Fundy is because it is so easy, I actually tell my clients, I will design your album for you for free. It's an added service. You don't need to worry about it, because one thing I've learned over the years, and I don't know if you guys feel the same, but if you leave your clients up to picking their favorite photos to include in the album, it can take weeks, months. Sometimes it took up to a year for a client to eventually come back to me with the images that they want in their album. Now, that's a long time to wait for a potential sale. So to eliminate that, and I think this is a great tip, design it for them. With Fundy, you can do that. You can design it in 15 minutes. You can design it in front of them. And that's where I'm getting at. If you can invite them over to your studio, I can design it in front of them. We can tweak it there and then we can get a design in place. And because they're caught up in the moment, like over here in this room here, I've got music going. There's a lovely slideshow that's playing. There's some chocolates out. You know, you create the atmosphere. And because they're caught up in the atmosphere when they're seeing their gallery for the first time or when they're watching their slideshow, they are much more likely to make a sale right then. So that is huge. That's such a great way of getting an in-person sale using Fundy. So how does it all work? So let me flip over to Fundy. Now, let me just go back a stage. All right, so I've loaded in, this is just a random wedding that I did last year. So I've just thrown in a bunch of random JPEGs. So what I would do here is I will, oops, let me just move some bits around. Okay, so I'll go to new album. So I've just moved that, sorry. This is where you would pick where you get your album printed from. Now, I get my albums printed from Dreambooks Pro. So I'm just going to type in Dreambooks. I'm going to hit the and then go next. I'm going to go standard. 10 by 10, that's my most popular album size. So I'm going to hit that and then go next.
I can see your screen. I think we've just still got Studio Ninja on at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sally, bear with.
No worries. Want to miss out on the good stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad that someone's still there. I thought I was chatting to myself. Okay, can you guys see that now?
I've got that. Perfect.
Okay, I'm ever so sorry about that. All right, let me just go back a couple of stages. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to need to do is, so I'll select what album, what printers I use. So I use Dreambooks Pro, but they've got so many different printers in here. No doubt they'll be here. So if I type in Dreambooks Pro, so Graphy Studios, I used to use them, but I now use Dreambooks Pro purely because I've just used them for 5 years and I just wanted to try something different and I really like their albums. So click next. I go to standard. I go to 10 by 10. That's my most popular size that my clients are paying for. I'm not going to go with a cover, so I'm just going to go no cover and click next. Let's just give this a name, Jody and Matt test. Give that a second. Okay, cool. So I'm now going to just highlight all of the images here. So I've already imported the images. I've just picked a load of random ones. So I'm going to then go to here, auto design. Now here, so I've got about 50 images here. So I'm going to do a album pages to design. I'm going to do 30-page album. I'm going to use all of the images here. There's 51 here. Minimum per spread, 1. Max per spread, 6. This is my go-to. So the default is actually what I like to do. Design album, yep. So I'm going to do it in order by file name, and then I'm going to go entire collection, and then with one button I'm then going to hit design, and then give that a second, and boom, right there it is done. How easy is that? And it's so much better than I would have done. I mean, this right here would have taken me so long. This would have taken me hours to do, and thanks to Fundy, it's so easy to do. So let's say, for example, you wanted to go in here and you wanted to tweak the layouts. So you can go here to layouts and you can pick a different one. Maybe you prefer this one. So we go to select, and that's there. Let me just move some zoom bits out of the way. And so if I go back to view, now, rather than double clicking every spread and tweaking it, you can go down here and you can just cycle through just to make that a little bit easier for you, which is just so much easier. It's so easy to do. What's great is I can then say, if I wanted to click this one and I want to make this one a little bit bigger, you can do that. And then you can just tweak up and down. I mean, it's so intuitive. I love the way they've designed this. It's nothing funny or finicky about it at all. If I want to swap images, I can just click there, drop that there. It's just so intuitive. It performs how you would hope it would perform. It's not got any sort of glitches or anything that I think. Everything that I need it to do does what I need it to do. So that makes it so much easier. So I can, if I wanted to, I can just move entire pages. Whoops. If I wanted to, I can move that and then just pop that there. So I can move entire pages. I can swap between pages. So if I wanted to move that, move this one over there, I can do so. You see how easy that is? Come on, that is so easy to do. When I'm happy with that, I would then go up here, go to export for print, or if your clients can't be sat next to you, then you can go export for proofer. What's great about that is you can then send your clients an email and they will get a digital version of what the album might look like. They can physically like click the button and it will go to the next page. It will feel like it's their album. And if there's anything that they want to tweak, they want to change, they can just click any point of the picture and a pop-up will jump out of them, and they can write a note and say, love this, but can we swap it for this image or for this JPEG? And then you will then get an email back saying that they have made changes. I can then go make those changes, resend them a new design, and then they can then, if they give me the approval, I will then get another notification back. And then I can then go up here and export for print. I then take those files and then I will send those off to, in my case, DreamBooks Pro, which is so great. Now, in terms of integration, this is where actually Studio Ninja and Fundy actually integrate. If they're ready to now pay for their album, what you can do is you can design an invoice, get that prepared, get that ready. But rather than sending them an invoice with your bank details and it's now different to how they were paying in Studio Ninja, this is where the integration comes in. So you can save a file. Now, is it an XML file, Sally?
Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, so it's an XML file. So what you do is you can design, you can create your cart with the album in here, and anything else that they might want to add. They might want to add parent albums. You can add all this to within Fundy. And then what you can do is once you've got the invoice, you can save that as an XML. Then you import that XML into Studio Ninja, and then you can then send your clients that invoice via Studio Ninja. Now, bearing in mind at this point, my clients have already used Studio Ninja's portal. They've already paid for my services through the Studio Ninja portal. So by importing the XML file from Fundy back into Studio Ninja, they can pay for their album in the same portal, in the same fashion, what they're used to within Studio Ninja, which is an awesome way of keeping that integrated and keeping that connected. So that is why I love using both Fundy and Studio Ninja together. I've probably forgotten something, so I do apologize. If anyone does have any questions at all about the integration or using these two pieces of software, Me personally, I'm still very new with Fundy. I've only been using it in the last kind of few months. What is great also about Fundy, but I haven't used it myself, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys effectively. But remember I mentioned about the slideshow thing? You can, if you want to, when your clients come over to your studio or your home, you can show them a slideshow of what the album might look like. And at the end, you can show them what their images might look like on the wall. So you can sell them wall art. And what's really cool is you can get your clients to take a picture of their living room. You can use that image and you can design wall art to go on their image that they've sent to you so that they can get an idea of what their images might look like on their living room wall. Now, how cool is that? Now, built in, it does have some go-to like kind of living room areas or different areas where you can design that, which is really cool. And let me see if I can do it. So I might fail miserably, bear with. So if I go, whoops. So you'd come over here to the gallery section. So this is where, so we're going away from the album section here. So yeah, okay, so let me see if I can get away with this. So, all right, so here is a template. They've got other templates of what you can use. So you can if I go to, so I kind of like that design. So this is from a collection design that sells. So this is a great way of trying to convince your clients to buy not just one piece of wall art, but maybe a collection of wall art. So if I double click that, I can then move this up here, and then I can then throw some of these images actually onto the wall. Oops. So they can get an idea. So imagine this is Jodie and Matt's living room. This is their living room because they can take a picture and send it to me. I can show them what this would look like. And then if they say, yep, we love that, you can add that to the invoice with their album. You can also add this image to the end of a slideshow. So like I said before, so you can show them a slideshow of their album design. So what you could even do, if you want to be savvy, is you can design the album before they've even walked into your studio. You can already have a pre-designed album ready to go. So if you're a bit worried about using Fundy in front of the client, that's fair enough. So if you do this before they step into your studio, you can show them the design. You can then show them the wall art, which can be added to your slideshow at the very end, so they can get an idea of what some of the images they've just seen in their album could look like blown up big on their living room wall, which is really, really cool. So you can add all that to the same slideshow. Then you can then go into the album design because you've already pre-designed it before they arrived. And then you can do all the tweaking there if you want to in front of them. And then you can try and convince them to buy an album. Now, with the way I structure my pricing, I know where I am anyway. I'm in the Southeast England. Now, I know that the way I've structured my pricing, I've now got 5 packages, which might seem like a lot. I know that a lot of people either just have 1 package and that's it. Some people might have 3, but I actually now have 5 packages. And I started with 3 and then I moved to 5 when I discovered Fundy. So I actually added 2 more packages onto my existing packages to include albums. So I wanted to give people who don't maybe have as much budget to just book me just to shoot the wedding and not have an album. But then I do have an option there if people do want to buy an album as well. But here's the thing. If someone's opted for a package that doesn't include an album, I will still try and sell them an album afterwards. And there's no shame in that, not at all. Because after the wedding, things change. They might get money from relatives. Once they've paid for the wedding, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. They don't have to stress about, well, we need to save for an album before the wedding, because they can easily pay for their album after the wedding. That's fine. So what I actually do is I give them post-wedding packages. So when they come into my studio, when they're watching the slideshow, when they're immersed in the process, I then show them, or actually they will have received this in an email beforehand, but they will get post-wedding packages. So if they didn't buy an album before, they can have the opportunity to buy one when they're sat in my office. If they've already bought an album, the post-wedding packages will encourage them to maybe buy more spreads. So there's always an opportunity to earn more money. But because of Studio Ninja, I'm able to keep everything up to date, everything scheduled, everything in check. Without these two pieces of software, my business wouldn't be where it is now. So thanks to these two pieces of software, it's really grown my business exponentially. I'm finally on top. I can finally take on more clients because I'm not scared that I'm going to get bogged down and I'm not going to keep up with everything. And with Fundy, I've now got an extra bit of income from selling them their albums. So that's kind of my workflow. I hope you guys liked it. I think I'm going to bounce back to Sally now. And I think she's going to kind of carry on with her little bit. I hope that makes sense, and I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you do have any questions, do go check that out, and go and check out my socials. It's just Tommy Reynolds anywhere on the internet. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tommy. That was absolutely incredible. It was the other side of Fundy as well, to the kind of the ins and outs of their software. That's absolutely fantastic. So as I mentioned before, you are able to book a one-to-one call with us at any time. So if you like what you see and you think, actually, I want to kind of look at that in more detail and have a more in-depth call, then please feel free to book a call with us at any time. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys for one last time. I've just got a little sign-off message from our founder, Chris. He would have loved to have been here, but unfortunately couldn't make it. So there's just a little message from him here.
What's up, guys? How are you? It's Chris here from Studio Ninja. I am just in the process of packing my gear to hit the road. I've got a wedding today in the Yarra Valley, and I just thought I'd check in quickly with you guys and say hello and just say a massive thank you so much for spending your time with us and Sally today on this Facebook Live. We really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you've learned a little bit, and hopefully you enjoyed the demo of what Studio Ninja can do for your business if you're currently not using any sort of studio management software. I mean, for me personally, even though I built the product, it's still an absolute life changer for me. I mean, I absolutely cannot live without it. I'm still shooting about 40 or 50 weddings a year, traveling around Australia and New Zealand for those weddings. And it's just so good to know that Studio Ninja is running in the background, and it's automatically converting my leads. Clients are accepting quotes that I've sent them overnight. Automatic emails are going out to my brides at different stages of the process. Automatic payment reminders are going out when my bride's invoices are due or overdue, so I don't have to do that anymore. My workflow is doing its thing, and I just know where all my shoots are up to at the different points in time. So I'm never stuck. I never have to worry about what I'm doing for each job that I've got on. I'll just log in and it tells me straight away, and it's just a lifesaver. So all the admin is now handballed off to Studio Ninja, so I can hit the road and shoot weddings and spend more time with my family and just chill and don't bother with any of this boring admin stuff anymore. So anyway, I want to say hello to you guys, and again, thank you for your time. If you need any help with anything at all, feel free to message me or Sally at any time. We also offer 24-hour support once you're a user, so you can jump into Studio Ninja, and if you get stuck or need help with anything, just flick us a message and we will help you with whatever you need. And yeah, we look forward to having you on board. If you're currently not using any sort of studio management software, then definitely get on board. It's going to be a huge game changer for you. You won't even know yourself. You'll have so much free time and less stress, so you can chill or shoot more or spend more time with your family, just like me, or do whatever you want with all that additional time and less stress. So I'm out. I'm going to go. Nice to see you guys. I look forward to seeing you inside Studio Ninja soon. And yeah, have an awesome day. See you later. Bye.
Amazing. Lovely. Well, what a lovely way to finish, just with a message from our founder, Chris. I just want to take some time to thank you all for watching today. Thank you for Tommy for coming on and helping me out today too, and showing you firsthand around a photographer's software, how they've customized it to themselves. As I say, if anyone needs a hand, if anyone has any questions or wants a more intimate demo of the software and the features that we can cover for you, then just give me a shout. We can book in for a one-to-one demo. So for now, that's everything from us. We look forward to seeing you inside Studio Ninja soon. And also make sure, if you aren't already signed up to Fundy or you're considering signing up to Fundy, go for it. It's a game changer of a system. As you can see from everything that Tommy demoed, I think I'm going to go and design an album this evening just for the fun of it.
Do it. Thank you so much, Sally.
It's a pleasure. No, that's great. Thank you. And thank you to the guys at Fundy as well. I know that they're here in the background just watching as well, but thank you to them for allowing us to come on today.
Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Right. That's us signing off. See you soon, guys.
Cheers. Bye.